Spring is a great time to buy a house, realtors always say, but what about those pesky high mortgage rates these days? And with us now is Jonathan Esposito of Rize Mortgage of West Hartford. And Jonathan, good to see you here on the program.
Thank you so much for having me.
So give me a little conversation about your background.
Yeah, so born and raised in West Hartford, went to Conard High School, then went to Princeton University, graduated in 2015, moved to the Big Apple after school, where I got into tech sales, was a part of 2 early stage tech companies that grew and saw tremendous growth, and then fell into the mortgage industry.
So you're one of those people that the governor often talks about. They want young people who perhaps are educated out of state or get their first job out of state to come back to Connecticut and lay down some roots. And you've done that. Why?
It has always been, I've always envisioned myself coming back and moving back to West Hartford. I mean, it's a town that gave so much to me and my family, and I really didn't picture myself ending up anywhere else. So it was a great opportunity to go into the city after school, but I always knew I'd be back. Is
it hard to set up a business?
It's certainly not easy, right? but yeah, I mean, there are a ton of resources and a ton of outlets.
Does our state make it easier for you?
Yeah, I mean, they do, and the connections are what's huge, right? Like the Chamber of Commerce and several other local networking groups that help make it possible, right?
Let's talk a little bit about the mortgage industry, because people are saying it's the worst time to buy a house because the rates are high and the prices of houses are high, the inventory is low. What's your take on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's no surprise that right now is a really competitive market, right? But hopefully, you know, with inventory so low, but hopefully with rates coming down, on one hand, hopefully it encourages some sellers to not be afraid to put their house on the market to move somewhere else, because a lot of people are like, I don't want to leave my 2.5%, 3%, right? So I don't want to sell right now. So hopefully if rates come down, that'll help a little bit, but then also it'll take a lot of buyers off the sidelines. So I don't foresee things dropping or slowing down anytime soon.
What's the average rate right now?
And so there are obviously a lot of different factors that go into it, type of home, credit score, and whatnot. But right now we're hovering around the mid-6s.
Which is high, you know, compared to what a lot of us paid a few years back.
Yeah, I know. We got spoiled. A few years back, seeing rates in the 2s, you get spoiled. But historically speaking, right, if you look back 10, 20, 30 plus years ago, it's not as high as you would expect. But once again, of course, with recency biased, yeah, they're a lot higher than 2s.
There is a housing shortage in Connecticut. They're building new housing, not enough new homes. A lot of baby boomers and a lot of parents in their 70s are holding on to their homes now.
That's right.
It used to be that they would sell them or perhaps go to a condo, and now they're keeping them. And that's creating some problems for buyers as well. What are you experiencing in terms of your customers?
You're totally right. And it's quite interesting to see on a lot of the big platforms, so like Zillow and Redfin and Realtor.com, Connecticut keeps popping up as a place that has extremely low inventory and that more people are moving to now than ever before. And so yes, there is a shortage. It's just a really good spot to be with its proximity to New York and to Boston. It is definitely a challenge. So hopefully, you know, more people, they start building houses sooner rather than later.
My mom is a retired realtor, and I remember when I was a kid, she had a sign in her office that said, if you think the prices are high, tomorrow. I mean, today, wait until tomorrow. But nowadays, they just keep going so high. Do you have customers who are saying, listen, I just want to wait till the rates go down? And what's your answer for them?
Yeah, so a lot of people ask me that. But unfortunately, if rates go down, affordability goes up, which means more, which will drive prices even higher. And it'll also encourage a lot of other buyers to come off the sidelines and be like, oh, rates are finally, you know, coming down a little bit. Now let me go and look to buy a house, right? So as you mentioned, I think there's no better time than now. You know, the saying is, marry the house, date the rate. When rates go down, that's when you could refinance lower. But I think with our low inventory in Connecticut just being such an attractive place to be, housing prices are going to continue to climb, I think.
Your goal was to set up your own mortgage company, which you've done. What's your advice for other young entrepreneurs who are maybe getting right out of college, or they're 20-something, they're moving to Connecticut, and they want to create their own business? What's your advice for them?
Start sooner rather than later, right? And start to network and ask people, reach out, get advice. There are a lot of people that it takes to accomplish that goal, right? And that's why don't be afraid to reach out to people, get advice, start to game plan, strategize, and set goals. And that way you can chip away every day at accomplishing that goal.
And your advice to perhaps another young person your own age and your own age group who says, you know what, I want to live in a bigger city, I don't want to live in the Hartford area, what would you tell them?
Honestly, no better place to be. I think, you know, my time in the city was incredible. Learned a lot of great people, matured a lot there. But when you take a step back and you look at the career opportunities and the school systems and all of the local community opportunities, it's such a great place to be.
Good quality of life. Jonathan Esposito from Rize Mortgage. We appreciate you being on the program today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Best of luck. In a moment, the rest of my conversation with Lieutenant Governor Susan Bysiewicz. We'll be right back to that.